ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूप कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम्। नमः ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामी इति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। मूकं करोति वाचालं पंगुं लंघयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरु दीनतारिणम्। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। हरे कृष्ण। So we are continuing our study from Bhagavat Gita. So Gita Upanishad, Bhagavat Gita is also called as Gita Upanishad. So today we have another parallel program going on at Kalakunj. We did a school competition or school contest for Gita. And in the month of December and January, 1700 students studied Gita and appeared for a small exam. So the prize distribution ceremony, we did it in 27 schools. So all of them are coming to Kalakunj, the principals and students, right? So we are making some humble attempts to let people get the seed of spiritual knowledge. But we have a desire to do something quite a lot for the children, because that is the age when people find it very easy to grasp. Afterwards, we become so involved in our lives, even if we do have interest, there is no time. You sit comfortably, whatever makes you comfortable. Okay, then fine. So I'm very happy that all of you are showing. Give Gita. Hindi hai. There's one more here. So I'd like to first of all congratulate everyone for having come, because this is a very important step for the beginning of knowledge. And we are trying to make a commitment to come as often to study this knowledge of Gita. And as I said here, my efforts will be to progressively teach you Bhagavad Gita. I'm definitely not a very fast coverage teacher. So it'll go a little slow, but then when we catch momentum, we'll catch pace as the learning also becomes inherent. So I'm very grateful to each and every one of you. So I would like to say one very important spiritual concept, and then we will read from the introduction from the preface. We're going to spend studying the preface and the introduction, which is actually the whole Gita's main concepts are explained in these particular 25 pages. Yeah, it's like all the essential topics. Like Gita has, I said last time, 5 topics. Remember? Ishvara, Jiva, Prakriti, Kala, Karma. These are the 5 topics which are spoken in, and how do they interact. Ishvara means the Supreme Lord. Jiva, the living entities. Then Prakriti means nature. So nature also means our own body. Other than the soul, whatever you find as the fabric is nature. Right? Earth, water, air, fire, ether, mind, intelligence, and ego. And everything is made up of these 8 elements. So Prakriti. Then Kala, time. And Karma. Karma is the account of the living entities when they work. And that's how the whole perpetual cycle takes place by these interactions. So I was explaining that when the Jiva, this is Ishvara, and this is Jiva. So when the Jiva turns towards Ishvara and surrenders, that is the perfection of the stage. Then this whole world gets wound up. There is no need of this world. Right? Because you're already perfect, then you go to the abode of the Supreme Lord. But when the Jiva turns away from the Lord and he starts having priorities other than the Lord, then he gets attracted to Prakriti, to enjoy, to control, to own, and to enjoy. He basically wants to manipulate. So when that business comes of manipulation, immediately he comes under the factor of time. And the activities he performs under the influence of Kala is called karma. And based on his karma, the punya, papa, he gets a reverse, like he gets the input towards his next. So like that, a person constantly keeps implicating and complicating his involvement in this world. And we have been doing this for how long? Prabhupada says, time immemorial. It's very difficult to also say how long we've been here. Right? But what is the game? The game is very simple. The jiva needs to turn up. That's the only game. Right? You do anything else to deal with prakriti, kala, karma, it's only kind of just making a little more different variation. But if you want to stop that program of the mess going on, all that the jiva needs to do is to turn to God. And Gita, the Bhagavat Gita, is basically making that knowledge and realization for the journey of the jiva from being externally bahirmukh to become antarmukh towards the Lord. Right? And we will study in the Gita how Ishvara deals with Prakriti. The Prakriti is not independent. The Prakriti is actually energized and empowered by the Lord. So ultimately the Prakriti to which the Jiva gets attracted is also activated by the Lord. Right? So this is one basic nutshell, the whole concept, which we will explore in the preface, in the introduction, about each of them and how each of them interact with each other. Because if you know the science of how this world works, then you know what you're supposed to do. Many times we don't understand why the world behaves and acts in a way as it is. So we just get carried away and we don't know. So this is the first concept which we will be studying. The second thing we will have to understand, people would say that if I am doing my duty nicely, if I am making my acquisitions and accomplishments and taking care of my family, relatives, and the people in general, I am not exploiting others, I am not being adharmic, isn't that good enough? Why do I need to bring Ishvara in my life? Because I seem to be a good Ishvara. I can also do good. I also have dharma and control. Isn't it? Isn't that the basic question everyone will feel? They will feel that coming to spiritual classes and doing bhakti is like doing a favor. मैं ठीक हूँ, I am all right, but just to make, what do you call, the Lord also a little happy, I will come. Let's give him also a consolation prize. आप क्या याद रखेंगे? Something to that effect. Isn't it? A good generic population, or maybe you can say 99.99 population will agree with what I said. For them, spirituality is only a flavor of life. Just like, how many of you like butterscotch? Strawberry? Vanilla? Similarly, spirituality. I went for the party, I went for the outing, I went for a satsang. So it's just a part of making a flavor in life, right? But is that reality? So I would like to explain you why this concept of 99.99% is inappropriate. Would you like to know? Right? Imagine you have wood, nice teak wood. What would you like your furniture to be made of? Teak, black teak, Burma teak. So we get Burma black teak. And then you call a carpenter and say, sir, my dear carpenter, I need you to make me a nice table by using this Burma teak, which I will keep in my drawing room and will be the attraction. And this alankar, all that kind of a thing. So he says, yes, sir, I shall do so. Give me a period of 2 weeks. I will do it. And 2 weeks, he really works hard and he makes the table. All right? And he shows up the table in a showroom. Sir, done. Now my question to all of you. Who does the table belong to? Who does the table belong to? Nature? It doesn't belong to you? Who does the table belong? Like, I'm practically speaking, I'm not telling you a story. You have given the whole Burma teak. You made a consignment with the carpenter with a certain rental, and you paid him every day also. And then the table is made sleek and very, very nicely done. And now the question is, who does the table belong to? Huh? So it belongs to us? Belongs to you? Is that clear or no? Or does it belong to the carpenter? You're sure about what I'm saying? What you're saying? It doesn't belong to the carpenter. Any doubts? It belongs to the owner. Fine. Now, let's suppose the carpenter says, sir, I worked hard. I made the table. Okay, you paid me every day some wages, but it was all my hard endeavor and I made it happen. It belongs to me. So in case you want it from me, pay 1 lakh bucks, what would you say? Will you spare him? You will sue him. Yes or no? And if the carpenter forcibly takes the table and keeps it in his house and says, nothing doing, I'm not going to give it, what would you consider him? A cheater, a thief. Fair enough? Right? Fair? Now, let's use the analogy for some more explanation. The Lord has given all the ingredients in this world. All right? And the human being is manipulating them to make a table, a house, his belongings. The energy to do the work is coming from Krishna. The intelligence to do the work is coming from Krishna. The nourishment and food required so that he has energy is coming from Krishna. After he manipulates and makes a beautiful palace, a beautiful house, a beautiful belongings, closet, table, sofa, everything, who does it belong to? But if someone says, no, it's my property, I worked hard for it, my 20 years of life, 40 years of life, my purvaj, my predecessors, this and that, we have made this estate, we have made this business, we have made all this. So what should you call them? Thieves. So the 99.99% of people are thieves who have morally accepted that's it's okay. Morality of thieves. So the world that we stay in is morality of thieves. And can a thief who has snatched from someone be ever happy? He will have constant fear that somebody will snatch it. And that's why all of us in this world are fearful and in anxiety. Because you're owning the property of the Lord and not acknowledging that it is His. Right? So to say that, I just do everything for myself and for my family and my relatives and everything, and I don't care about God, I'm dharmic and I'm just this thing, says, you're a thief. Let's get honest. Right? It's not being pious and good. Is that fair enough? Obviously, don't use it against people. Because you're all serious students. I'm trying to teach you the deeper aspects. Because if we also may have that kind of a thought in our mind. But we have to know, if we are not acknowledging the Supreme Lord in our life, that everything actually belongs to Him, we are being a thief. So Ravana is this consciousness. Ravana took Mother Sita, whose energy, who is like Lord Ram's consort, and he wanted to enjoy for himself. So how is our consciousness different from Ravan? We are taking Lord's property, claiming it to be ours, and we want to exploit for our enjoyment. Isn't that everyone's consciousness? Fair enough? Right? So this is a very important concept Srila Prabhupada teaches with a simple example of a table. Right? So, actually practicing God consciousness, acknowledging the presence of the Lord and being grateful to Him is basic courtesy. Like our parents take care of us, the mother and father take care of children so meticulously. The children offering their gratitude to the parents. Thank you for providing us. That's basic courtesy. So offering worship to the Lord, chanting the names of the Lord and knowing about God is basic courtesy. And then you go ahead to offer your gratitude. Understand more about the Lord and His love. And become His lover. That's the purpose of life. Athato Brahma Jigyasa. People in this world, they are not doing Brahma Jigyasa, they are doing Bhayankar Jigyasa. They're exploring into aspects which make their lives more complicated than what they began with. Right? We're making their lives more complicated. But this is the basic concept. The first thing I explained to you is about the 5 topics of the Gita: Ishvara, Jiva, Prakriti, Kala, Karma. And the Jiva is in association with Ishvara. That's like winding off the whole job. But when we are Bahirmukh, which actually we are right now, we conceptually understand, but the inertia of being like that for millions of lifetimes, it's going to take us a journey and a process to make our transition. So the process of bhakti is a means of making that transition. That is bhakti. And the second thing I discussed is about the 99.99% of the philosophy that be good, do good, have your things, don't exploit, and little bit acknowledgement, butterscotch flavor and spiritual flavor. Okay. But then we gave the example what Prabhupada said of the table and a carpenter. Right? So we would be and this is the main reason why we are unhappy. The main reason we are unhappy is because we have not acknowledged the owner and developed a relationship with him. If it is my experience last 20 years, I meet so many people, thousands and thousands of people, youth, families, corporates, professionals, business tycoons, or whatever, meet everyone. And everybody who becomes very close will admit one fact, saying that, look, I have everything in life, but somehow I don't feel satisfied. There seems to be something in my life I feel is missing. Something and that's the same answer everyone has. Like, yes, I have nice children, I have a nice husband, or I have a nice wife, we have an estate, we have future is settled, everything is so wonderful, but something seems to be missing. And that missing is Krishna, our original love. Right? That's our original love. This is what we are looking for. And because we don't know we are looking for Krishna, we are looking for many things, hoping that maybe that is the thing that's missing in my life. Like, maybe I didn't go to America till now, that's why I'm unhappy. Right? Somebody may be thinking, but people in America are also unhappy. The people in America are thinking that they're selling land on moon and I don't have a property. That's why I'm unhappy. But after you do have a property and you legalize it, does that satisfaction come? The hope that something will make me satisfied keeps you going on. Make sense what I'm saying? The hope that something will make you satisfied by working hard and getting it keeps you going on. And for people who realize that there is nothing else in life that will make me satisfied, it goes to a dead end. People who lose hope are the people who commit suicide. Those who have kind of hit a dead end, that maybe there's nothing in life that will satisfy me, then maybe I should go beyond life. It's the same quest. The person who commits suicide and the person who lives, it is the same quest to fill that gap in your life. So Prabhupada says many times, those who are not God conscious are living dead. What do you mean, living dead? In the sense, they're living, but they're dead to the reality of life. Hare Krishna. So with these two concepts, these are all, again, as I mentioned, the main themes of understanding the spiritual knowledge of the Gita. So we are on preface, and last time we read the first paragraph. First two, yeah. You have another English Gita? Okay. You can share for now, and I will just quickly read the second paragraph and then we'll go to the next. Go to the preface. You can open the preface. Yeah? The second paragraph. Previous to that. No, no. Our Krishna consciousness movement is genuine, historically authorized, natural, and transcendental due to its being based on the Bhagavad Gita as it is. It is gradually becoming the most popular movement in the entire world, especially amongst the younger generation. It's becoming more interesting to the older generation also. Older generation are becoming interested so much so that the fathers and grandfathers of my disciples are encouraging us by becoming life members of a great society, the International Society for Krishna Consciousness. In Los Angeles, many fathers and mothers used to come to see me to express their feelings of gratitude for my leading the Krishna Consciousness movement throughout the entire world. Some of them said that it's greatly fortunate for the Americans that I've started the Krishna Consciousness movement in America, but actually the original father of this movement is Lord Krishna himself, since it was started a very long time ago, but is coming down of human society by disciplic succession. If I have any credit in this connection, it does not belong to me personally, but it is due to my eternal spiritual master, His Divine Grace, Om Vishnupad, Paramahamsa, Parivrajikacharya, Stotra, Srimad Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj, Prabhupada. So this is the author, Srila Prabhupada, who is writing the commentary of the Gita from the Acharyas. And he is speaking three aspects. The first thing he is saying is this Krishna consciousness movement, what we are following, is based on Bhagavad Gita. It is not a sentimental process. It is based on the teachings of Lord Krishna, what he spoke in the Gita. So whatever we are doing, we can show you from Bhagavad Gita why we are doing. It's not like, why do you do it? Acha lagta hai. No. It's actually what Krishna wants us to do. So we have just put it in application. So that is the first thing. So whatever we do in life, it should have a basis of a spiritual text as the authority. You don't do anything just like that. Right? The science always, like, if you do an experiment, you do it according to the chemistry, physics, science, or, everything has to be done according to the text. So similarly, our whole Krishna consciousness movement is based on Bhagavad Gita, number one. So anyone tells you anything, anyone asks you anything, we should be able to quote it from the Gita. Then we are authentic. It should not be like, oh, good thoughts. No. It should be like this. Something like, we breathe in oxygen, we survive. Someone says, try nitrogen. You'll die. So follow the text. Number one. Number two, Prabhupada is saying that when this Krishna consciousness movement was spread all over the world, Prabhupada started it in America, and then later in other parts of the world and in India, people are taking to it. If you know, in America during the 1970s, there was this hippie movement. After the Vietnam War, all the young generation were frustrated with the government's policies. And they all left homes like vagabonds. Were children of rich people, but they lost faith in the government and the so-called modern society of having any genuinity, that they became vagabonds. Do you know that? During that time, that movie came, Devanand's. So that was actually a culture of the West, hippie culture, they called it, which happened for a period of time. So literally, the government and the families and the parents were not able to control their, which is always the case, but it was quite a lot there. They were going into all sorts of things. They were leaving home, getting onto roads, taking drugs, taking liquor, and stoned to that. You understand? So, but when Prabhupada introduced the Krishna consciousness movement and this philosophy, what happened is people transformed. People transformed. They started living lives God conscious. And their lives transformed. So Prabhupada said that I just introduced the original knowledge and practice, and there is transformation. So people, the parents of all the youth, are coming and congratulating me that indeed your movement has transformed. So which means this philosophy and practice will create transformation. And that is the proof of its authenticity. Make sense? This knowledge, and so there is knowledge, this philosophy, what we are talking, and we have a religious practice of chanting the holy name, doing kirtan, prasadam, bhoga, right? This is the application. So when you do learn this knowledge and apply the application, what should happen in our lives? Transformation. Right? If you go to a doctor and he gives you medicine for 5 years, and after 5 years you say, doctor, nothing is happening, or so then it doesn't work. So the medicine has to take effect. Obviously, we should not be like a Kali Yuga patient. You know what's a Kali Yuga patient? He goes to one doctor, discusses, he gives the medicine, he says, okay, I will consider. Then he puts, someone says, market mein someone else has come. He goes to that doctor. Then after meeting 5 doctors, he decides what he's supposed to do. And it's like, isn't it? You don't surrender to anyone. And so your disease also doesn't really work. So the second thing Prabhupada is saying is our spiritual knowledge and culture should bring transformation. And which we practically, Prabhupada said, we can see it all over the world. Like if you go to Mayapur, there are devotees from 70 countries. So definitely Aman and Bhavika were there, and others will also go. So you see people from 70 countries, they have tilaks, they have sari, dhoti kurta, small kids with shikha, playing mridangam, eating prasadam, dancing. They are not from India. So how this transformation? And they're happy. You can look at them. Right? So what we are saying is not a bygone concept. It's something what we can experience. And these people, the Westerners also, you can ask them, they're practicing for 40 years, 50 years. For a long time of practice. Like that. So there's a second aspect Prabhupada is saying, the transformation by the process. So that is the second thing. First thing we should look for is authenticity. It's based on the spiritual text. Second is the practical realization, which is a transformation. I applied it, and what happened? Right? And then Prabhupada is saying that there is no credit for me. It's actually Krishna is the original propounder. And if you turn to page number 31. Page 31. After the paintings. It's after the paintings. You'll see page 30 and you see the topic, disciplic succession. After that. After all the pics. Yeah. Got it? Yes, Mataji has got it. You see the disciplic succession? Starting 1, Krishna, then to Brahma, Narada, Vyasa, Madhva, Padmanabha, and it comes down, 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 down. And 32 you see A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Alright? So Prabhupada is saying, it's not my philosophy. The original propounder is Krishna. Krishnam Vande Jagat Guru. Why we should take knowledge from Krishna? We'll speak in the introduction more so. So Prabhupada is saying it's not my credit. I am just repeating. And then he gives credit to 31. You see 31, page 31, 31. Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati is Srila Prabhupada's Guru. So he's saying in this introduction, if I have any credit, it is to my spiritual master. I am just kind of, repeating what my Guru taught me. I am just an amplifier. So similarly, when I am speaking, I am just repeating what the Acharyas, Prabhupada and the spiritual teachers have taught us. Right? If I make edit and change it, then the effect will change. So in spirituality, the most important thing is your ability to not make information loss and become a transparent media. How many of you wear spectacles? So when you wear a spectacle, does your spectacle become an obstacle? You don't even realize that you're wearing one, right? So similarly, the guru should be like that spectacle. He becomes a media to bring clarity in focus on Krishna. Not that a guru tells you something and says, now you understand Shishya, I am only Krishna. Not like that. Like, a lot of pseudo people, they teach and they said, I am that. By the way, he said, no. The spectacle is not supposed to obstruct. It's supposed to bring the clarity and focus on Krishna's lotus feet. So Srila Prabhupada is mentioning that. Right? So genuinity, authenticity, transformation, connecting to the roots, and Prabhupada is expressing his humility. So everybody, every preacher, so Prabhupada started a worldwide movement, but his consciousness is, I am just a repeater. In Kumbh Mela, there was, in Kumbh Mela when it happens, a lot of akhadas are there. Anyone been to Kumbh Mela? So a lot of akhadas and, a lot of spiritual organizations, and everywhere, a lot of things happen. So Prabhupada also was there with all his disciples in 1972. And so what was happening is many people were having elephants, and they would have the mahant, the mathadish, on the elephant. So the disciples of Prabhupada approached Prabhupada and said, Prabhupada, you'll also go up on the elephant. And Prabhupada said, no. He said, yes, you get the elephant, we will put Radha Krishna on the elephant, and I will lead in the kirtan, and we will march to glorify to the whole world that they are our supreme. And really, I would, being on an objective level, like to make a gratitude to Prabhupada that the whole ISKCON movement, people will know that they are Hare Krishnas, but they will not know Prabhupada. So Prabhupada never put himself in front. He put Krishna in front. Now you go anywhere in the world, everyone will say, yes, they are the Hare Krishnas. So Hare means Radharani in Krishna. So everybody has become conscious of Krishna. But Prabhupada kept himself in the background. So that should be the quality of a teacher. Right? The teacher is one who brings you to the focus of the Supreme Lord. Okay, we go to the next paragraph. Yes, someone would like to read? Yes, Akshat, read. So these are very important aspects Prabhupada is saying. So again, Prabhupada is repeating that if I have any credit, my credit is that I presented it as it is without doing any adulteration. Jo गाय का दूध निकला, पानी नहीं मिलाया, and brought it as it is. Otherwise, in the Gaushala, 10 liters comes to the city, it becomes 50 liters. So, Prabhupada says, if you want to give me credit, what is my credit? No adulteration. That's very important. And then Prabhupada is saying about a very important aspect. Actually, to clear up all these, we definitely want to go into the Gita, but actually there are a lot of misbeliefs and aura of wrong conceptions which will block our understanding or will not allow the knowledge to sink inside our heart, which we have become a part of because of staying in this world. So that is why it is important to clean up all those conceptions which will become resistance for us to accept the spiritual knowledge. Right? Like for example, Prabhupada is saying here that there are so many editions of Bhagavat Gita. Prabhupada said that during that time they had like 700 editions of Gita. So somebody may say this question, okay, Swamiji, why should I read your Gita? We have 700 in the store book, and you go to Amazon, Flipkart, or others, we can get, why should we read your Gita? We could be reading other Gitas also. Is it that you only have monopoly? Yes, people can come across that discussion. And Prabhupada says that, yes, there were 700 editions of Gita, and people partook of it, but did it create transformation? People are as it is. You go to a satsang, you go to a program, you go to everything, and you come back, you are as it is. You have a emotional transformation, some kind of exhilaration, and then you come back and the same thing. Square one, or maybe square zero. So Prabhupada said, number one, that where is the transformation? The second thing Prabhupada is saying, that I presented it as it is. That's why this Gita, Prabhupada boldly says it is. Which means what Krishna said, I am repeating. What Prabhupada once said, whatever Krishna has a message, whatever is the will of Krishna, what he wants to tell you and me. Arjuna was actually the greatest devotee of the Lord, and through Arjuna, Krishna is teaching us. Right? It's not that Arjuna was confused and bewildered. He played that role, a dramatic role of getting confused for all of us. Right? So the explanation is given, it's like a cow. You know, there is a gwala, there's like a cowherd man. He takes cow and then he brings out the milk. So the cow is compared like the Vedas. Alright? Vedas are like cow. And the milk is the essence. The essence of the cow is milk. Alright? So a cowherd man, brings out the milk from the cow. But when will the cow give milk? Do you know when the cow gives milk? What do you need to get milk out of the cow? Calf. Without the calf, the cow will... Because milk is an outcome of the affection of the cow for the calf. So if you don't bring calf and make it drink, the cow will not give milk. And then you put the calf aside and take off milk. Because we stay in Goshala, we have practical experience of this. Right? So similarly, who is the calf? So all the Vedas are there, and Krishna is the cowherd man who is churning all the Vedas. And who is the calf? Arjun. Because Arjun has come, Krishna out of affection is giving him the milk. And what is this milk? Bhagavat Gita. But when the milk comes out, who is the milk for? For the calf and the humanity. Similarly, Krishna as a cowherd man churns the Vedas and gives you the essence, which is the Bhagavad Gita, in the presence of the calf Arjuna, which is for everyone. So this Gita is for Arjuna or for everyone? Everyone. One should not say, Prabhuji, it's actually Arjun who was confused, it was for him. So how is it for me? I said, no sir. Arjun was a means. Yes. This knowledge is universal and eternal. For all walks of life, for all times, for every situation. This Gita is the essence. It's like, see, the Lord who gave the Vedas said, I will give you the essence, and that's Gita. From the mouth of Krishna. So this is a Vani. This is like, you can say, Adharamrit of the Lord. Lot of issues nahi. All the issues. You ask a issue, we have answer from Gita on a political level, governmental level, in the universal level. Now it's only that they should apply what we say. What Gita is saying, we are ready to teach the politicians, the kings, the ministers. We can solve all the problems on the not it's not pride of ours, it's because Krishna has made the system and you follow the system. That's all. No. See, actually how it works is Arjuna Arjuna and Pandavas were the rulers of the whole world. So basically Krishna is giving this knowledge to the king. Because if the king is empowered with the right knowledge, the whole world will get benefited. So that is why I speak this. That this knowledge of the Gita is for the leaders of the society. Because whatever the leaders of the society will do, the common man will follow. Like if the father and mother do something, the children will automatically follow. You don't have to train them and teach them. You don't do something and you keep pushing your children. Like you have a cigarette in your hands and say, "Beta, never smoke in life." Says, "Yes, Papa, I will teach the same thing to my child." Put a cigarette in hands and says, "Beta, don't smoke in life." So the parampara will continue. So whatever the leaders do, common men follow. So Krishna gave this knowledge to Gita. So Prabhupada is mentioning that 700 interpretations of Bhagavat Gita. So his Prabhupada is saying that everybody is using Gita to launch themselves. The politicians, the scholars, the researchers, or everyone, because they know Gita is a good platform. You go there and speak your ideology to establish yourself, and Krishna goes in background. Someone says, actually Gita is about Ayurveda. Because Krishna speaks about food in 3 modes. And someone says, actually Gita is about conflict resolutions. Actually Gita is about this and that. Everybody will come up with a new thing. You go on the net today, you have a plethora of things on the market, and everybody will say a new concept. But nobody will say, Gita is what Krishna wanted, what Krishna is saying. That's basically the concept. What is Krishna wanting to give to the world? That is the message. And Prabhupada says, we are trying to represent the mission of Krishna. And what is the mission of Krishna? That's the mission of Krishna. The jiva has turned against, make him turn back and get connected in love. That's the mission. All of us are lost children of Krishna. We are all lost children and the Lord is very unhappy. What is this? Bhagavat Gita means the song of the Lord. Bhagwan ka geet hai ye. Kya hai ye? So like in a movie, the hero sings for the heroine or for the lost one. Where are you? I have been waiting for you, looking for you. So the Supreme Lord is singing for all of us. Oh my lost child, where are you? I in love miss you. Please come back to me. If you read the whole Gita and understand the mood of what Krishna is, you will immediately fall in love with God. That's what Prabhupada is saying. We are trying to put the same mission with what Krishna spoke the Gita. There is the content of the author, but there is the intent of the author. If you don't understand the intent of the author and you read the content, you may not get to what is actually the message. Right? They wrote a book called, Shah Jahan. Someone told me. They wrote a book on Shah Jahan. And when you read the whole book, it's only about Aurangzeb. It's only about what Aurangzeb did. All the book is about. So somebody may get confused. Like the book says Shah Jahan, and all that is there in the book is the exploits or the torture created by Aurangzeb. So how is it connected? Connected? So you should ask the author. So if you ask the author, so he said, actually why I named it as Shah Jahan is Aurangzeb had put Shah Jahan as a prisoner and a captive. And Shah Jahan was witnessing right in front of his eyes all this activities of Aurangzeb killing his own brothers, usurping the property and doing. So the author is saying the whole book is like a portrayal of what Shah Jahan is undergoing as an emotion towards whatever is happening. Then the whole book will have a different outlook. It won't be a historical reference. Anyway, I'm just giving an example to make you a concept clear. Right? So similarly, the content of the author and the intent of the author. So the 700 transliterations or translations or commentaries, they're not only missing the content and forget about the intent. They say actually, we know what Krishna wanted to say. Some authors you will say, they will be like, actually Krishna doesn't say this. Like, this Manmana Bhava Mad Bhakto, this is the essence of the Gita. The essence of the Gita is this line, which says that give your mind to me, become my lover. Become my lover. But what does the interpreter say? They say, actually, Krishna is not saying to become his, put mind in that. You should put mind in something that is within Krishna. कृष्ण के अंदर जो है वहां जाके आपको मन लगाना है. So Prabhupada said, why stretch it so bad? There's a person, he's telling you, love me. I said, no, don't love the person. Love something within the person somewhere. So why create that misinterpretation? So what happens when people read this knowledge which is misinterpreted, you become confused and lose your track and feel maybe this not relevant or get to a wrong conclusion. So Prabhupada said, my efforts to present it is the content and the intent of the author. And what is the mission of Krishna? Bhagavan ka Geet. He's calling out of love. Right? Imagine, sometimes children, after they grow up, they go to London, America, or go here, there. And what do parents feel? Separation, love. So we have come away from Lord so far, for so long. How would the Lord be feeling about us? Come back, come back, come back. That is the mood of the Gita. That's why you will see Krishna is so desperate as his message to bring us back. And then he's saying, people may say that something within Krishna. So there are 4 things: form, qualities, pastimes, and name. Right? Nama, Rupa, Guna, and Leela. Alright? It says Krishna's name, Krishna's form, Krishna's qualities, and Krishna's pastimes. Now this is a little technical to understand, because you're trying to understand about Ishvara, so we also understand what is the nature of Ishvara. So there are 4 aspects of any personality: name, form, qualities, and pastimes, Leela. Every person has a name, he has a personality, he has his stories, and he has his qualities. So when people say something within Krishna different from Krishna, it's not true. Because Krishna is an absolute person. He has all 4 simultaneously. I will explain what I'm trying to say. He has all the 4 simultaneously. Like, imagine, uh, let's say someone is at their home, like Akshat is at home. So if we talk about Akshat here, so is Akshat here? No, he's at home. But the personality is not here, right? Yes. The personality is not here. But when you chant the names of Lord, when you say Hare Krishna, the personality is here. Chanting the holy name is not, what do you call, giving a name. The holy name is actually the Lord being here. Just like, when we did Kirtan, we experience a spiritual experience. Why? Because the Lord is there. So the name and the form are one. So if you chant the names of Krishna, you actually have Krishna with you. If you hear about the Leelas of the Lord, actually the Lord is here with you. And if you discuss about the qualities of the Lord, like we discussed about how Lord feels for us, He's with you. It's not a concept. Hari Katha, Hari Kirtan, Hari Naam, these are all the same personality. Krishna has all these four and he can be present in any of this aspect. That's called absolute. Right? The name, the form, the qualities, and the Leela. Everything is one. In this world, we try to superpose all the four in one. Like, when they make a movie. Right? When they make a movie, they try to attribute all the best things in the person. Someone may look beautiful, but may not have a good voice. But they will have someone mimic, dub for her or him to sing in a very beautiful way. Now they may be singing okay, but they may not have good qualities. But they will represent and paint the whole story that good qualities. Right? And accordingly everything. So in a movie, you will see that they try to bring all the four, all the Nama, Rupa, Guna, Leela into the people, and that's what creates excitement for people to go and watch it. Right? Like the hero is so chivalrous. He can fight adharma and injustice and bring the whole, nonsense going on and put it in place. Right? Even if 100 people are there, the hero will go and dishum dishum. And he will do it. Isn't it? We get fascinated. You look at songs in movies, in Indian songs, the hero and heroine are dancing, and there are so many people dancing behind, and suddenly they get transmuted to another atmosphere, and they're dancing with different color, and everything is so gorgeous. And people get excited to watch it, yes? Why? Why do you get excited to watch the movies? Because Krishna is like that. Krishna is like that. He has all the four in one. So we all actually have aspiration to see him. So anyone who is shown to represent, to have all of them together, we get excited. That's how movies hit. Make sense what I'm saying? They show you some super fantastic things and you get excited. Why do you get excited? Because that's what you felt when you were with Krishna. And now you want to have a repetition of that. A person with beautiful qualities, beautiful form, beautiful relationships, and everything so sweet. Madhuram, Madhurashtakam, Madharam, Madhuram, Nayanam, Madhuram. Everything is Madhuram. So for people in this world, in a movie, you have to plant it. It is not there. Right? I knew of a hero who in his movies could hit so many people and put so many people bowled out. But in the real time, someone convicted him that I think he was involved in some scam or something. And the day the police was coming to interrogate him, that night he got a heart attack. Just the thought that somebody is going to come and interrogate me. And the next day he was shown in the hospital with a saline bottle. So that is the hero of this world. Now, on the screen you can show like, but in reality, Nama, Rupa, Guna, Leela is not. Naam may be Padma Lochan and the person may be like looking weird. Right? The name and the person usually many times do not match. But Krishna put all the four is absolute. And because we get excited with him, that's how movies hit. Because there's a longing of the soul to experience Krishna, the spiritual world, which is super fantastic. Right? So actually, as I said, the actual jigyasa of all of us is the Lord. But because we are not doing jigyasa of Lord, there are substitutes to make us feel involved. But it is not going to give you that satiation. Just like imagine a child is lost somewhere in a mela, like they show in the movies. So for the small little child who is lost in the mela, give him some lollipop, give him some chocolates, give him nice clothes, give him some toys. Will the child be satisfied? For some time. But afterwards, till you put the child in the lap of the parents, the substitutes will not satisfy. And when the child gets to the lap, substitutes don't matter. Similarly, in our life, because we are not in the lap of the Lord, so many substitutes. And if you don't have substitute, then what is life? But when you get to the lap of your loving Father, then whether substitute or no substitute, no problem. We are at the source of all love and affection. That's the message. So Krishna is absolute. So someone says something is within Krishna and something is outside. No, he's an absolute person. He has all the four simultaneously existing. So how nice it would be to meet a person like that, right? And mind you, we have a heart-to-heart loving relation with him. Even though we have come away, has Krishna left us? Why? Because he is present in each and everyone's heart as Paramatma, the same Lord. Who is running this whole complicated system of trillion cells? 10 to the power 12 and more cells are in the body. And do we really know how it's operating? Okay, does the doctor know how it is operating? The more they are researching, they are not able to understand. It seems to be so complex. So who is making this whole system work? At least we can say we are not doing it. Like our heart is beating 24 hours, but when we sleep, does the heart continue to beat? That means it's not by us. At least we are not giving instruction. Oh heart, keep beating. Said, master, till you are awake, I'll beat. Just like it happens in a company or any place. The master goes away, the work becomes slow, or what to do, this is not there, that is not there, this is not there. So your heart is not under your direction. Otherwise we would have problem. So similarly, talk of the nervous systems, talk of the blood system, capillary system, whatever systems you talk of, and you see the genius. And what do the doctors do? They only harmonize with the protective system of the body. Like, if you have a fracture, what does the doctor do? Why? So what will happen? Who will make it join back? The doctor? Yes. You just put the two broken pieces together and the effect will take place and it will become one. Who is doing it? You may say, doctor ने मुझे ठीक किया है. No, sir. Doctor's endeavor, magic of Krishna. Look at life anywhere. This is how it works. We unnecessarily take all the credit. And that's why we get so confused. Our endeavor is only our part. But the magic is of the Lord. Look at any aspect. Think of any phenomenon and discuss it. It's your endeavor and the Lord's mercy. Like I give an example. A plant. Put a seed. A plant and a tree grows up and gives you, like mango tree gives you like 500 fruits every season. Is that our endeavor? So our endeavor and Krishna's magic is the result. So the whole philosophy is my endeavor plus Krishna's magic is equal to the result. Right? So, just as it is so important to do our endeavor, it is also important to include Krishna's magic. So our life should have two dimensions. A dimension of doing our duty and a dimension of including and acknowledging and having Krishna's magic. Then the complete equation will happen and the result will come. Right? So many times this Krishna's magic is only missing. And for many people even endeavor is missing. Many times you will see people are anxious even without doing endeavor. Hoga kya? Will it happen? Did you do something? No, I didn't do it, but will it happen? First at least you put effort. Right? So both the things. So that's how Krishna is a perfect personality and we're looking for him.